Welcome back to the Available Post Podcast, the podcast where I speak into the void and hope someone listens. I'm your host, Callum, and let's get wet and wild. So I've changed the logo. You've seen the new logo. Happy Easter, whatever it is for people out there. You know what? Jesus walked through a desert for 40 days. And you know what we're going to talk about today? That's right, the new Magic the Gathering spoiler set, Thunder Junction, the outlaw set that is based in the Wild West, where they turn everyone into cowboys for whatever reason. I don't know. Do people like cowboys? I guess there's people that like cowboys. I don't really care. I think it's kind of low-hanging fruit for me. By that, I mean, I think it kind of sucks. But we're going to go through the spoiler anyways. I'll try not to get super mad at how silly it is. Not that I care too much about the lore anyways. I mean, the lore's been completely smushed for a long time. But we're here. We're going to play some talk about the cards that are coming out that are here on magicspoilers.com. Outlaws Thunder Junction. First thing I see is basic lands. Who cares about that? I mean, they're basic lands. They do the same thing every set, unless they change it in this set, but hopefully they don't. But then we got new mechanics. We got plotting. We got committing crimes. We got outlaws. We got thunder. We got junction. So the first card we're going to talk about is Fibble Flip, the Lost on the Range, which I think is a callback to the classic song Home on the Range. And he's just a little homunculus with a hat. Basically, it's an interesting version on what is that card called? Like reality chip style card. So you can plot cards on the top of your deck, basically. You look at the top cards, you can check out the cards, you can plot them for their mana cost. And, but you can't play lands with Fibble Flip. So that's, it's not as good as like the reality chip or anything like that. You also don't get the cards right away. Plotting something, you pay the plotting cost, it's exiled face up. And you can now cast that on another turn as sorcery speed without paying its mana cost. So basically it's like its own strange suspend. Which is good. I mean, obviously for counter magic it's bad. For instant speed removal it's bad. But like if you got something sweet on the top of the deck, you just do it later turn. It stays out of your hand, so it's harder for your opponent to deal with. So it's kind of better than just drawing a card, because then you can cast it free. It's good with like things that you can cast multiple spells on later turns. So it's plotting, I think, is pretty good. Is good old Flibby's good? I don't know. He's got Ward 2. He's a 1/1. It's probably really bad. As unfortunate as that is, maybe there's a cool you might be able to do something cool in like Commander, or like Brawl or something. But Fibble Flip, whatever. He's lost on the range. That's where he belongs. Then we got a new sword in the sword cycle, and it kind of sucks. It's got a weird symbol beside it. I don't know what the Starship Trooper symbol is. Maybe that's only for like Commander or something. But I don't know. There's like the normal set symbol, I think, is the hat. And then there's like a weird, is it supposed to be a lock? A keyhole? A gun barrel, maybe? I have no idea what it is, but it's a little like Star Destroyer flat round thing. Whatever. Sword of Wealth and Power. Equipped creature gets +2/+2, protection from instants and from sorceries. Instant sorceries aren't blocking, so you're never going to hit your opponent with this. And that's like, you don't even really need to read the rest. It's the same 3 cost, 2 equipped sword as all the other swords, but you're never going to hit your opponent because all their creatures can block. Which is like the beauty of the other swords was that if they're playing, if you're playing Sword of War and Peace and they're playing a white deck, you're always going to hit your opponent and they will die. And that's kind of the beauty of it. But Sword of Wealth and Power is that sorceries don't block. I mean, it's going to be a lot harder for them to use targeted removal, but they're just going to either chump or just have a Shieldred in play. Because, that's It's what they do. That's what players do. They play Shieldred, and then it has Death Touch, and then it eats whatever creature attacks it. But in case you do get a hit in, you get to, when you hit your opponent, you got to make a treasure token, and then the next instant or sorcery you cast this turn, you get a copy. Pretty low powered sword. I'm usually pretty high on like cool like doubling spells and stuff, but I think that is like the worst possible way to do it. You have to play creatures in your spell deck. You only get one treasure, which I mean, you could spend 3 mana on Professional Facebreaker, and that is just, you basically get this card plus other things and draw ways to draw cards and things like that. So I don't know, sort of Wealth of Power, more like sort of garbage. Got him. All right, we got Tiny Bones, the Pickpocket. He's a cute little guy. He's a 1/1 for 1 with Death Touch. Whenever good old Pickpocket deals damage to a player, you may cast target non-land permanent card from that player's graveyard, and you can cast it. That's actually really good. What the hell? We look at Sword of Wealth and Power, and you attack your opponent, and you have to spend like 5 mana to play it and equip it. Your creature gets a bit bigger and stuff, but you hit your opponent, and then you maybe make a treasure and maybe do nothing. Tiny Bones gets to cast cards from the opponent's graveyard, and you get to spend any mana to cast it. And it's a 1/1 Death Touch for 1. It's super efficient. Tiny Bones Pickpocket, I give it an A+. It's also a skeleton rogue. Just to, just to be clear. This is in the main set. This is hat. This is hat symbol, not Star Destroyer symbol. We got Oko, the ringleader. We got Ringman Oko. He's of course he's got silly reminder text, not reminder text. He's got static abilities. At the beginning of your turn, Oko, the ringleader, becomes a copy of up to 1 target creature you control until end of turn, except he has hexproof. He got hexproof, yo. Draw 2 cards. If you've committed a crime this turn, discard a card. Otherwise, discard 2 cards. That's a +1. Wow. -1, create a 3/3 elk creature token. Oko, where have you gone? Why are you so much worse now? Should be +1. Target creature or artifact becomes a 3/3 elk creature and loses all of their abilities. What? He becomes a weird outlaw, puts on a silly hat, and now his elk abilities get worse? Whatever. And then -5. For each non-land permanent you control, create a copy. Oh, that's pretty good. For each non-land permanent you control, create a token that's a copy of that permanent. That's really good, though. You draw some cards, make a bunch of everything. Kind of crazy, actually. That's kind of fun. I don't know if it's good. Drawing cards is always good, but then, again, I don't know if Shieldred rotates out when this set comes out. If Shieldred rotates out when this set comes out, Oko's going to see play. Shieldred's in play. I don't know why people are drawing cards and not just playing like full Wraths all the time. So, we'll see. We'll see. Then we got this Starship Destroyer symbol on the Nexus of Becoming. And, beginning of your turn, draw a card. Then you may exile an artifact or creature card from your hand. If you do, create a token that's a copy of that exile card, except it's a 3/3 artifact creature in addition to its other type. So, I don't know if this is like proper set or what. If this is in standard, that's pretty cool. You can like start having this in play means you get to, I don't know, what's the Phyrexian portal or whatever people as 3/3 Phyrexian portals to kill your opponent. You can also just Nexus of Becoming your Nexus of Becomings to get more, like have a 3/3 Nexus of Becoming. That's kind of fun. Anything that makes you double up tokens is going to be really insane with this. And then just, I don't know, you just get crazy creatures like Titan of Industry. Exile it, becomes a 3/3, but you also get to destroy an artifact and enchantment and then gain 5 life or make a 4/4. Give it a shield counter. Nexus of Becoming is an A+ for me. I mean, it's going to be a really fun, cool card. It's 6 mana for an artifact that, I guess it does do something. Because it does at the combat step, so it does something pretty much as soon as it's in play. So you get something on the first turn. So I think that makes it much better. Yeah. Next to Becoming is really cool. Love the idea. Love the design. Great. Hell to Pay. Hell to Pay is a 1 red and X, and deals X damage to target creature. Create a number of tapped treasure tokens equal to the amount of excess damage that creature this way. Yeah, it's fun. Play on words. Okay, it's a rare. I don't know. I don't see it being that great. Like maybe in some cool combo decks where you want to like hit your own weird creature. But like if you have an indestructible creature, is any of the damage excess? Does it just soak up all the damage? How does it calculate excess damage? Unclear. Unclear. Hell to Pay. Oh well. Way it goes. Okay, we have the Duelist of the Mind. He's a human advisor for 2. He's got flying, he's got vigilance. My dog is crying at the door. We'll learn about the Duelist of the Mind. I'm mind dueling you right now. Is your mind sufficiently dueled? Probably. It's a flying vigilance, X3. Duelist of the Mind's power is equal to the number of cards you have drawn this turn. Okay? Whenever you commit a card, you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card. This triggers only once a turn. It's power only being... I mean, obviously it's an aggressive card. It's got vigilance, so I guess it can block. X3 is pretty okay. Like, for 2. Flying Vigilance for 2, not bad. 3 Toughness, good. I don't know how many cards you really conceivably drawing a turn. Even, like, you know, even if you commit a crime, you're only getting an extra card. It's a 2/3. So most of the time, you're just attacking for 1. I don't know. I don't know about you, Duelist of the Mind. You're pretty low tier. I give it like a C. I give Duelist of the Mind a C. Then we got the land cycles. We got some good old deserts. A common land cycle. They are land desert of all the dual colors. They come into play. They deal 1 damage to target opponent. Very cool. I dig that a lot, actually. Very interesting mechanic. I like the deal damage when they come into play. It's you can do some really cool stuff with that. I can't wait to sacrifice a bunch of my lands and then kill my opponents by bringing them all back. So I give them a good old B, actually, for the deserts. Deserts are a B. We'll see what sweet desert synergies we get in this. If we go back to like Timeless and stuff like that, we got Amonkhet, which has some desert themes as well, which will be fun. They do come into play tapped. They have 1 of each mana of whatever dual color they are. And then, yeah, deals the damage. We then also have coming back to business. We got like Bot Sank, Bloom Marsh, Concealed Court, Spire Vantage, and Spire Bluff Canal. And yeah, those comes into play unless you control, because it's play untapped unless you have, basically if it's past your 3rd land, they come into play tapped. And they're decent. They're good. They're good for like aggro decks. They're still played a lot, and we needed to finish the cycle. So good. Or did we? Or did we not have these ones already? Not in standard, I guess. They're on arena though. Sure, whatever. Then we got Lava Spur Boots. It's a 1 mana artifact equipment that equips for 1, gives your creature +1/+0 haste and ward 1. They're good. They're very strong. Not as good as Lightning Greaves. But you can, if you're in a Tinker Mage format or something like that, you can find the Lava Spur Boots pretty easily. Costing 1 does make it pretty decent, but ward 1, kind of stinky. Emergent Haunting. It's an enchantment for 2. Beginning of your end step, if you haven't cast a spell from your hand this turn, and Emergent Haunting isn't a creature, it becomes a 3/3 spirit creature with flying additional as other types. It's like a callback to like the old enchantments that would turn into creatures, and then you can pay 3 and surveil. It kind of sucks. Emergent Haunting for your uncommon slot, very weak. We got our obligatory uncommon resurrection spell, Badlands Revival. The Badlands Revival returns a creature from your graveyard to the battlefield and then returns up to one target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. It's good card advantage, 2 for 1. It's a good old twofer. You put a creature into play, put a permanent to your graveyard to your hand. It's good. It's 5 mana. It's black and green. It's alright. Now we're going on the spree cards. Getaway Glamour we got for spree card. Now, I believe you can only pick the things once. So, or else I think some of these cards would be way too good. So, it's 1 white, and then you can, you have to choose 1 or more additional costs, which is either +1, exile target non-token creature, return to the battlefield on its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. Pretty good. Or +2, destroy target creature if no other creature has greater power. Interesting. Okay, so that's kind of funny because then you can pump spell a different creature and then cancel the Getaway Glamour. But yeah, so it's a good like blink thing. You can like kind of use it as a fog. It's pretty cool for 4 mana. Destroying a creature, blinking a creature, not the worst thing in the world. It's an instant speed, decent. All right, we got more. There's so much more stuff. So much more stuff. I'm just going to be talking. But that's the beauty of this upload cycle right now. Insatiable Avarice. It's 1 black. It's a spree card. +2. Search your library for a card, then shuffle that. Then shuffle that and put that on top. So you get a 3 mana Vampiric Tutor. Kind of bad. It's a sorcery too. But the other one is you can play black, and target player draws 3 cards and loses 3 life. So if you, what's that, 5 mana? Search for a card. Yeah, that's not bad. Search for a card, put it on top, then draw 3 cards. That's not bad. Pretty strong there. Like almost like a Dark Petition style thing there. Without the getting of mana, we need Dark Petition. I want more Dark Petitions. In standard, in every format. Oh well. Insatiable Avarice, it'll be pretty good. I think it'll see maybe some play. But we also saw the weird Cleave card that was a land search and then a full-on tutor not see any play whatsoever. So maybe Insatiable Avarice is just not good enough for what it is, but I think if you are going to see it, it's going to be played mostly for 3 mana, draw 3. And then sometimes you will have the extra mana to search for the cards you need. So I think it's got more legs and more versatility. All the spree cards seem like they're pretty good and versatile. All right, we got the Fortune Loyal Steed. It's a beast mount. So I guess if you're into mounting beasts, this is for you. When Fortune Steed does the battlefield, it's great too. He's a 2/4 for 3. Whenever Fortune attacks while saddled, it has saddle 1. I'm assuming that's like crewing. I don't actually know though. While it's saddled, at the end of combat, exile it, and up to 1 creature saddle it. Return those. Okay, so it like blinks whatever saddles it. Whenever it attacks while saddled. Yeah, you have to attack with it. It's only a 2/4, so it's probably not going to live. So, I mean, there's that. Maybe, like, it combines, it's like a way of banding, and it combines the power and toughness, so whatever you're saddling with it gets better? I have no idea. We got a new join up, you know? Someone comes from a different plane and shows up here, and she's just kind of chilling, and it's Vraska. Vraska joins up. 1 black, 1 green, legendary enchantment. Whenever Vraska joins up, enters the battlefield, put a death touch counter on each creature you control. Okay. Whenever a legendary creature you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. For 2 mana? It's kind of messed up. Vraska joins up is just messed up. More like Vraska's messed up. That's pretty good. Obviously. I mean, 2 mana coastal piracy for your legendary creature is pretty insane. Giving them all death touch counters also. I mean, that's just bonus. Yeah, I could see just a legendary creature deck wanting to play this and then never running out of cards. Because it's a legendary enchantment with the stupid like Palace of Heroes. You can like slam this and then slam who's the stupid Rafine the next turn. Oh boy, I don't know how much fun that's gonna be having Rafine even better. But there you go. Vraska joins up. We'll make Rafine even better. Nice. Selvala, Eager Trailblazer. So eager. It's a 4 mana, 2, a green white. Legendary Elf Scout Vigilance. It's a 4/5, by the way. Just to chunk you up there. 4 mana, 4/5 Vigilance for 4. Pretty good. Whenever you cast a creature spell, create a 1/1 mercenary creature with tap. Target creature you control gets +1/+0 until end of turn. Activate this ability only as a sorcery. Okay. Then you can tap Selvala to choose a color, add 1 mana of that color for each different power among creatures you control. Okay. Why are they... Yeah, sure. Makes creatures, adds mana, vigilance, 4/5. Yeah, it's word soup, whatever. It's an Elf Scout. I mean, it's good. It's tough to judge cards like this because, I mean, obviously there's no protection on it. Classic dies to removal argument, but yeah, if this lives out on a turn, the next turn you're just going to cast a bunch of creatures and you're going to beat your opponent. So, just another thing where you need to play a deck full of removal spells or else you're going to die to stuff like Selvala. Which, I mean, sure. If that's the direction we're trying to go, Wizards, they're doing a great job at it. We got Magda, the Horde Master. What's up, Horde Master, Dwarf Barbarian Magda? It's a 2-mana 2/2, Dwarf Berserker. Whenever you commit a crime, create a tapped treasure token. You only do it once a turn. Sacrifice 3 treasures, create a 4/4 red scorpion dragon creature. Token with flying and haste. Activate only as a sorcery. Okay. You just make big dragons. You pay for dragons. Scorpion dragons. The Scorpion King. Scorpion dragon? Alright. Sure. Man, this is going to take me forever to go through this. I don't know. Magda, whatever. Magda's probably really good. I'm assuming if you can just get treasures in play, you just want to sacrifice them and make dragons and then copy your dragons or something. Three treasures to make a dragon. You're probably just going to play a burn deck where you're going to be committing crimes anyways. Committing a crime, by the way, is targeting opponents, anything they control, and or cards in their graveyard is a crime. So you can just sit there and, I don't know, play your Relic of Progenitus and commit crimes. Because you just target your opponent. Your opponent has to exile a card from the graveyard. Uh-oh. Looks like you committed a crime. Yeah, so that's neat. We got Slick Shot Show Off. It's a bird wizard. 1 red, 1 colorless, 1/2, flying haste. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, Slick Shot Show Off gets +2/+0 till end of turn. And it has plot for 2. Slick Shot Show Off is a really cool. I mean, it's a flying version. It's a flying haste version of we've seen a lot of cards like this. It's not quite as good as what is it? Arc Fiend? No. I think it's Arc Fiend, something like that. Whatever the +3/+0, whatever you cast in sorcery is, but that you play in Pauper. But this card seems very solid. It having haste, and having plot really makes a difference too. Because you just plot it, and then wait till you have some monstrous growth or whatever the hell you're going to be playing, and then just kill your opponent 1 turn. I think there's going to be a lot of cool combo pieces with that. Because it has haste and flying, it's got evasion built in. You can just slam it down and kill your opponent. Slick Shot Show Off is going to be a S tier, I think. If we get I think it'll just slam itself into all the aggro decks we have right now. Like this is way better than what's his face, like Feldon. Or any of like the 2-mana haste creatures that we have right now. For the most part, Slick Shot Show Off just seems way better in any of those decks because you're already playing like 4 monstrous growths and like things like that too. You're basically playing a prowess deck. So yeah, Slick Shot Show Off is gonna be easily like the best card in those. The cards you want every time. So that's there. We got the Gitrog Ravenous Ride. So you want to get down and dirty with a Frog Horror mount. If you want to mount a Frog Horror, this is the set for you. It's 5 mana, black green 3, legendary creature, Frog Horror mutant, Frog Horror mount, sorry. It's a 6/5. It's got trample. It's got haste. Lots of haste in this. That's great. I'm glad. They said, there's too many Wraths in Standard right now. Let's just give everything haste so Wraths don't matter. Instead of, I don't know, trying to build around it. It feels very much just, we need all of our cards to just do something as soon as they come into play and be able to attack and do everything. So, just give everything haste. Why not? But whatever. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you may sacrifice a creature that saddled it this turn. If you do, draw X cards, then put X land cards from your hand onto the battlefield tapped, where X was the sacrifice creature's power. So you get a Wet and Wild Ride, and the Gitrog monster eats you, and then he, I don't know, poops out a bunch of deserts or whatever. It's good. I mean, again, even if you're not saddling it, it's a 6/5 trample haste. With upside. Because it's a Frog Horror. I mean, what's cooler than having a Frog Horror? I don't know. Sure. Gitrog Ravenous Ride, probably like a B, honestly. I don't know. It's 5 mana still. 5 mana. You need something to saddle it for it to get its really good bonus. You need at least 2 creatures in play, which is that one and something else. So I don't know about that. What do we got here? We got the Great Train Heist. Okay, we're going to steal the trains. It's a 1 red spree card. First spree is we can pay 1 red and 2 colorless to untap all creatures you control. If it's your combat phase, there's an additional combat phase after this one. It is an instant, so you can kind of do it in your thing. Creatures you control get +1/+0. Okay, first strike till end of turn, so that's +2 mana. Just 2 generic, that's pretty good. And then for 1 extra red, you can choose target opponent whenever a creature you control deals damage to that player this turn. Create a tap treasure token. So Great Train Heist is pretty wild. That's a pretty rude it's a pretty rude combat trick. Nope. We got Little Bones. Little Bones joins up. When it enters the battlefield, any number of target players each discard a card. Whenever a legendary creature enters the battlefield under your control, any number of target players each mill a card and lose 1 life. It's fine. It's a 1 mana. It's a 1 mana little Tiny Bones enchantment. That's neat. Good job, Tiny Bones. Annie Flash, the Veteran. It is 6 mana Naya Human Rogue, 4/5 for 6. 3 colorless, 1 red, 1 green, 1 white. Legendary creature Human Rogue. It's got the hat symbol. Oh, yeah, has everything had the hat symbol so far? Everything in the last little bit has had a hat symbol. When Annie Flash, the Veteran, enters the battlefield, if you cast it, return target permanent with mana 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. When Annie Flash becomes tapped and you sell the top 2 cards of your library, you may play those cards this turn. It is a Flash human. Yeah, alright, we got Annie the Flasher. Okay, Annie Flasher. You're probably okay, but I mean, you're a bit too expensive, unfortunately. For 6 mana, for 6 mana, in older formats, I'm just going to play Sun Titan. Because Sun Titan's my favorite thing, and it's going to do very similar things, but bring it into play untapped and have a good time. And not be a legendary creature. Doesn't have Flash, but it's also a 6/6 Vigilance instead. I don't know. If they just reprinted Sun Titan, I would have been a lot happier, so Annie Flash, sure. Or if they just reprinted Sun Titan under legendary creature so I can play Sun Titan the deck, I'd be also happy with that. But Annie Flash is fine. I think it's not. I think it's for Commander. Whatever. Sure. We got Kellen the Kid. He's little baby Kellen. What's up, Kellen the Kid? It's a 1 green, 1 white, 1 blue, 3/3 flying lifelink for 3. It's a 3/3 flying lifelink for 3. Human Fairy Rogue, legendary creature. Whenever you cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand, you may cast a permanent spell with equal or lesser mana from your hand without paying its mana cost. If you don't, you may put a land from your hand into the battlefield. That's insane. We got Flash and Annie over here, bringing back one card, and then we have Kellen the Kid literally doubling up all of your spells. Like, Kellen the Kid is the plotted king. That's crazy. Also, a 3/3 flying lifelink for 3 is pretty spicy. Yeah, I think Kellen the Kid's gonna see some play. There's gonna be some kind of deck with it, probably. Different ways of playing stuff. Even like you just have Kellen the Kid in your Discover deck, and then you're just casting. You're just doubling up your spells. Yeah, it's pretty nuts. Pretty nuts there, Kellen. All right, we got Vraski the Silencer. Shishi Vraski. 3 mana, 3/3 Death Touch. 1 black, 1 white, or 1 black, 1 green, 1 colorless. Death Touch. Whenever a non-token creature your opponent control dies, you may pay 1. If you do, return it to the battlefield tapped under your control. It's a treasure with tap, sacrifice, and it loses all other card types. Oh, you turn them into treasures, but they keep their abilities. They just lose their card types. So if you kill the opponents with like static abilities, then you just get to keep the static abilities on your weird treasures. It still seems pretty good. I mean, you're just gonna end up killing stuff anyways, and then you can just pay 1 to make a treasure. At Vraska's worst, still pretty good. Oh well. We got Rakdos the Muscle. What's up, Rakdos? You're the muscle. It's 2 black, 1 red, 2 colorless. A 6/5 flying trample demon mercenary. And alright. Exile top cards used with mana value of target player's library until end that. Sacrifice another creature. What do we got? Yeah, okay. Whenever you sacrifice another creature, exile cards equal to the mana cost value from the top of your target player's library until your next end step. You may play those cards, and mana of any type you can be spent to cast those spells. Sacrifice another creature. Rakdos the Muscle gains indestructible till end of turn. Tap it. Activate it only once a week. Okay. Alright. I mean, this is alright. It's fine. It's 5 mana for a 6/5 flying trample. Doesn't have haste though, so you know, Giddy Roggy's a bit better. Muscly Rakdos. Alright, whatever. I don't care about Rakdos the Muscle. Honestly, it's a mythic that I'm probably never going to see. Which sucks. But, you know, I'm sure there's someone who's going to make a commander deck with it. But I'm never going to play that commander player because I don't play commander. Because you have to go out, see people in paper to play commander. The problem with seeing people in paper with commander is that a lot of Magic players either intentionally don't know how to shuffle or unintentionally don't know how to shuffle, but still just end up cheating. Paper Magic has lots of problems. The cost, one of them. Dealing with people just rule zeroing stuff, another problem. I know this is not like a commander set technically, but it's starting to feel like a commander set with all these weird legendary creatures and everyone having cowboy hats. A bunch of things saying like any number of players. Who cares about commander? I'm losing my damn mind here. Who actually cares about commander? Rakdos the Muscle, I guess, does. Wizards of the Coast does, because I guess it makes money, but I don't even know if it's Wizards of the Coast. I think it's more just Hasbro. Either way, sure, we got Commander trash here, Rakdos the Muscle. What a nice piece of garbage. I'm glad it'll see no play in constructed formats. I'm glad it has a bunch of cool text. I'm glad they put a cowboy hat on everyone else. Let's talk about Glissa the Hellraiser. It's a 3 generic mana, 2 black. A human warlock, 4/4 ward, 2, pay 2 life. That's actually pretty good. You have to pay 2 and pay 2 life. That's nice. Skeleton and zombie get +1/+1 and have menace. Good. Whenever you commit a crime, create 2 tapped 2/2 blue black zombie rogue creature tokens. Only once a turn. Okay. You commit crimes, you make zombies. They got menace, they got +1/+1. You make 2 3/3s. If Gisa, the Hellraiser, I think Gisa is actually really good. If you can just commit crimes, like just thought seize your opponent or something, have stuff that can just target your opponent's graveyard every turn or things like that, Gisa is really good. I think the deserts target your opponent, so technically you can just play a desert, commit a crime, make zombies, which is just like Field of the Dead. No difference. So Gisa the Hellraiser is just Field of the Dead. I'm calling it now. The card's actually good though. I think Ward 2 with Pay 2 Life is quite the cost. So that's kind of good defense against things, and I like that she makes zombies. That's fun. And they have Monache, and she also helps out skeletons. Skeletons need a bit more love. Okay, we got Jace, the Rewoke. So the story of Jace. Okay, Jace was the sculptor of the mines, right? And then he had a couple too many to drink, and he got scallywagged out onto a pirate boat. And he's like, yo, I'm shirtless, Jace. I'm all sexy. I make a clone of myself. Hello. And then he got his memories back, and he's like, okay, yeah, I'm a wicked smart guy. I remember that now. And he had like a little fun cosplay thing where he was an investigator in Innistrad. He's like, what am I supposed to be doing here? Oh, I'm looking for Embercool. That's cool. And then Jace was like, and then I guess the Phyrexians were like, Jace, you love Vraska, right? And Vraska and Jace are like, yeah, we love each other. This is a great thing. And Vraska's like, yeah, well, guess what, Jace? You got some Phyrexian swoogity in you, and now you're completed. And he's all like, ooh, my veins are all metal now. I got metal everything. And nope, just kidding, actually. Jace just had a sweet little nip-nap time. Now he's Rewoke. Jace Reawakened is a 2 blue mana cost Planeswalker Jace. You can't cast this spell during your first, second, or third turns of the game. You can only cast him turn 4 plus. And yeah, he's +1. He starts with 3 loyalty. He's +1. Draw a card, then discard a card. He has a little dip and bap. And +1, you may exile a non-land card with mana 3 or less from your hand. If you do, it becomes plotted. That's actually really good. Just plotting cards +1, very strong. Until the end, and then you can -6 them. Till the end of your next turn, whenever you cast a spell, copy it. You may choose it, and you just get a big old copy thing. That's pretty cool. Jace gets up from a nap is decent card. I like that. Oh, there's so much more stuff. I mean, there's lots of stuff. There's a mobile home. If you want to play Trailer Trash the deck, you can play mobile home. What do we got? We got Torpor Orb. Well, I mean, that's the best card in the set forever. Torpor Orb. Creatures enter the battlefield, don't cause abilities to trigger. But it's an artifact? I'm so happy. Torpor Orb's going to be amazing. I mean, not for standard. I think it'll be fine. It's got its little Death Star-like sign, but Torpor Orb, I'm super hyped to play Torpor Orb in... I'm going to play a stupid Giants deck. I'm going to play my... I just got to play my... what is it? It's like Hushbringer deck, but I don't have to rely on Hushbringer dying to everything. I got to play Torpor Orb instead. And I am very hyped about that. And now I'm happy again. I see how it went from not happy to very happy. Torpor Orb should be in every set. We should get in Snaring Bridge too. I mean, if we're going to have all these cards that do silly things, yeah. And what else we got? We got Arid Archway is a desert that comes into play tapped, and you got to bounce a land to your hand when it comes into play. Taps for 2 colorless mana. It's a desert, and if you bounce a desert, you get a Surveil one. This card's going to be great. I mean, in the past, we always knew that like lands that tap for 2 mana are very good. Even if you have to bounce something, there's cool ways to get around it. Cool ways to do stuff. It'll just be good with any of the things that like counter abilities when stuff comes into play. It's just an extra 2 mana land, kind of like what's the silly like the Lotus Field stuff. It's kind of similar to that, but it's colorless, so it's not as good. Either way, it's a cool way in Standard right now to bounce your like Tiknumas and stuff like that later in the game to be able to reuse them. And I think that is a huge implication of why, like a huge like plus side of stuff like Arid Archway. That's neat. That's a neat little land. What else we got? There's so many cards that I don't even want to talk about all of them. There's like a Wrath. Everyone's creaming themselves over Fateful Final Showdown, right? It's a 1 white spree card. You can +1. All creatures lose all abilities till end of turn. That's pretty good. You can +1. You can choose a creature you control. It gains indestructible end of turn. That's pretty good. So for 2 mana, you can either like take everyone's shirt off, or you can put a big shirt on your character, or you can pay an extra 5 mana to destroy all creatures. So it's kind of just does everything. So there's that. That's pretty good. Spell target creature grave into your hand. What's this? Well, when resident enters the battlefield, return target creature card from grave to your hand. Creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. That's kind of cool. It's like a little human warlock guy for 3 mana. We'll talk about like one more card. Yeah, you know what? This is the one. Step Between Worlds. That's the card I want to talk about. This is the card I want to talk about. It's probably got the most legs to work on, but Step Between Worlds is a 5 mana cost sorcery. 2 blue, 3 colorless. Each player may shuffle their hand and their graveyard into their library. Each player who does draws 7 cards. Exile Step Between Worlds. But it has plot. You can plot it for 6 mana, meaning you can cast it on a later turn for free. Step Between Worlds is kind of insane. It kind of sucks that we have to exile it. But, you know, 5 mana time, something we haven't seen in quite a while. So I'm high on Step Between Worlds. Your opponent being able to choose is kind of interesting. I don't know why you would. I mean, I guess maybe they want to keep their hand. But that is very fun, and that'll be that. Thanks for listening. You know, there's also a lot of other characters coming over here, and there's also a card called There's a card. It's really funny. It's called where is it? It's right. Shoot the Sheriff. Destroy target non-outlaw creature. And outlaws are assassins, mercenaries, pirates, rogues, and warlocks are outlaws, implying that the deputy is an assassin, mercenary, pirate, rogue, warlock. And I find that fun. Thanks for watching, listening, whatever this is. I'll catch you in the next one. Like the comment, subscribes. They're putting in Terror of the Peaks because, I don't know, people need Terror of the Peaks. That sounds like fun. Have a great day. Bye for now. Happy Easter.